this was not an on-campus opportunity. Could you please walk us through the stipend structure offered by ServiceNow?
The compensation offered by ServiceNow is quite competitive and is somewhat equivalent to the top tech companies like Microsoft or Google offers for their internships. They should be active on different platforms like Unstop and LinkedIn also. The hackathon I participated was Women Code to Win. It is generally conducted for second, third, and fourth year students.
Was there any resume shortlisting at any stage of this complete process?
No, there is no resume shortlisting.
What was the most challenging part for your preparation or this complete process?
Okay, so the most challenging part for the preparing was definitely staying consistent and coding daily. As for the application process, the hardest part is actually getting the OA opportunity itself. The culture at ServiceNow is very supportive and collaborative, and the team seems really welcoming. I am genuinely looking forward to working with them and create a good connections even for later.
Hey everyone, I'm Priyanshu Egdwal and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today's podcast is going to be very interesting and insightful because I will be sharing the complete interview process of ServiceNow for internship, for which we have Harshita with us who has cracked internship at ServiceNow. So today she will be sharing a complete interview experience in which you will get to know the detailed application process from how the she applied and what was the overall interview process like. And let me tell you that this was not an on-campus opportunity. So if you are someone from a college in which good companies don't come, then this opportunity is going to be really helpful for you. So without wasting our time, let's get started. But before starting the video, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, then do subscribe to it as we are planned for more such amazing content. Yeah. Hi Ashita. Thanks a lot for accepting my invite. Yeah, thanks a lot for
Hi.
accepting my invite and coming here for sharing your experience. So how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm also doing really well. So we'd love to know about your experience, but before starting, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'll start with my introduction. My name is Harshita Sharma. I'm currently pursuing BTech and I'm a third year student. I'm pursuing BTech from KIT Group of Institutions. It is one of the colleges affiliated with AKTU University, Lucknow. And my major degree is in computer science and information technology. That's it.
Great. So first tell us about how did you came to know about the opportunity, because many students don't get to know about these opportunities, because generally most of the students are able to apply only on-campus opportunities, but they didn't get to know about off-campus opportunities.
Yeah, actually, this opportunity came to me through a ServiceNow hackathon, and I got to know about it from my college placement team. Like, generally, we get mails about different hackathons and different opportunities that are coming up. But honestly, I would suggest that students should not rely on only the college communication. They should be active on different platforms like Unstop and LinkedIn also. And majorly on LinkedIn, they should follow people who frequently post about such informations. Like, one of the example is Arsh Goel. He is very active. He posts a lot of opportunities of hackathons and different fields. And basically, I would suggest that they should be open to registering everywhere so that they learn by applying only.
Yeah, right. We should be active in communities. Like there are a lot of Telegram groups, as you mentioned, one of them, Arshware. So they usually post all the opportunities on their Telegram groups. So in this way, students will not get the unaware of these kind of opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. So what was the name of the hackathon?
So basically, the hackathon I participated was Women Code to Win. It is generally conducted for second, third, and fourth year students by the
Okay.
ServiceNow only.
Okay, so the eligibility criteria for applying to this hackathon is that you should be in the second, third, and fourth year of your engineering.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So can you walk us through the complete process, like from applying to hackathon to cracking the internship? Overall, how many rounds were there? What was the timeline of each round? Can you please walk us through every detail?
Yeah, sure. So basically, it was the hackathon. Like the name was Women Code to Win Hackathon, which was conducted by ServiceNow, and it was hosted on Geeks for Geeks. So to take part in the hackathon, you had to form a team of 3 members. The process began with an initial online assessment, and it included like 30 MCQ questions and 3 coding questions. And depending upon that, which the questions of MCQ were related to the company service now, and coding were general DSA questions, which were medium to hard level questions. And the those who cut off, like those who have moved on to the next level, they had to take part in the second round, which was prototype building, and then the third round was the hackathon. So unfortunately, I could not qualify for the hackathon because I have solved around 1.5 coding questions, and MCQs I did solve all. However, after a few days, I received an email from ServiceNow, which was an invitation to an online assessment for internship consideration. That's when I found out that even if a participant does not make to the final round of the hackathon, top performers from the first round may still be shortlisted for the further interview rounds. And this was a good opportunity, and it also reminded me that consistent efforts could reach to initial rounds, and it can give to interviews. And in interview also, I had one OA round, and after that 3 interviews were conducted.
Okay, so like basically for hackathon, there are 3 rounds. First is online assessment, and then prototype building, and then the hackathon round. But the
Yes.
top performers from the first round got the opportunity for the OA and the intern opportunity, basically.
Yes.
So what was the level of DSA questions in that first round, and what was the duration
Um,
of that OA?
okay, so in the OA round, there were 3 questions, and they were medium hard level questions only, and it was around for 1.5 hour. It was there. Like, I don't remember it
Okay,
properly, but it was almost around 1.5 hour.
okay, great. And like, can you tell us like from what topics those questions were related? What was the data structures related to those questions?
So the first in the hackathon, there were the questions related to trees, DPs, and graph. And even in the OA round, there were some questions related to arrays, and other were most probably from these common topics like graphs, DPs, arrays. Generally, they ask array related questions, arrays, priority queue questions.
Okay, so how many DSA questions were there in the round in the OA for the internship?
There were 3 DSA questions.
Okay, in that round also there were 3 DSA questions for one and a
Yes.
half hour. Okay,
Yes.
and what was the level of those DSA questions?
Basically, there was one medium question and 2 hard level questions, and they generally asked from data structures like arrays, heaps, and priority queue, trees. They don't go much deep in the like DPs and all. They are like basic questions that are generally asked.
Okay, so what was the cutoff criteria for that online assessment to get the interview call?
For the online assessment, it was, I guess, all the 3 questions those have solved, all those have got the interview links.
Okay, so solving 3 questions only then you will get the interview call. Okay, that's a big
Yes.
deal. And when there are 2 hard questions. Okay,
Yeah, actually.
so yeah.
Because there were, I guess, in online assessment also, there were a lot of students, and I guess around very less got the interview links. So most probably they have kept the cutoff for that 3 questions only.
Okay, great. So, like, can you walk us through the those 3 interview rounds? Like, was it technical rounds, HR round, or what kind of interview rounds were there? What was the duration of interview rounds? What type of questions they asked in the interview rounds?
Okay, so basically, in the interviews, there were 3 interview rounds, and there were like 2 technical rounds, and the third round is generally HR round. But depending upon your performance in the second interview round, you get like maybe hiring manager or something. Uh, I can't give more details about what were the questions, but yeah, in the technical rounds, they ask about generally about the DSA questions only. Technical rounds are mostly about the DSA questions and about the your resume, whatever you have been built. And the HR round is generally the situational based, which are normal HR questions. And in the like in the second round, there was basically what matters more in an interview is when you are introducing yourself, you should brief out in the best way, like you introduce about all your skills, everything, whatever you are doing through, because that is what makes an impact to the interviewer.
Yeah, right. In the way in which we are communicating matters a lot in the interviews.
Yeah.
So, like, can you please tell us, like, how many questions were asked in the interviews and what was the duration of each interview round?
So the interview round, generally it varies, duration it varies, but for generally they keep it like 40 to 45 minutes depending upon the performance. It is generally 40 minutes, and then later on it is extended about to 5 minutes maximum, whatever the response, whatever you respond to the interview. And the question like criteria and number of questions are generally one or two questions in each round, and rest depends upon the recruiter or the interviewer, whosoever is taking the interview. And they generally ask all the approaches for the questions, and the level remains the same, which is in the OA and all.
Okay, so they ask medium and hard questions in the interviews.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like first we need to tell the brute force approach, then optimal, then the optimized approach. So in
Yeah.
this way, we should tell the interviewer because they are trying to test our problem solving skills and not our rectification,
Yes.
that if we are memorizing that solution or not.
Yes.
They want to check how we approach a problem, how we get to a new solution. Okay.
Yeah.
So, was there any resume shortlisting at any stage of this complete process?
No, there is no resume shortlisting. Like both the hackathon and the internship interview, they were just purely based on the performance, and the candidates were shortlisted based on their scores in the initial online assessment, regardless of whether they advanced to the next hackathon round or not.
Okay. So there was no resume shortlisting. Only the performance of current round matters for the next round.
Yes.
Okay, great. So, how did you prepare for these rounds? What are the resources did you follow? Can you please walk us through them?
Okay. So to prepare for these rounds, I started with the Strivers A to Z DSA sheets. It's extremely helpful as it covers all the topics in depth with a good variety of questions that gradually build our understanding. Once I had a solid grasp of understanding and all the basics, I began solving lead codes daily challenges. These problems are great for testing our fundamentals, and also it helps us to be consistent with the practice and the problems.
Yeah, right. It's diverse A to Z and SD. Both sheets are really amazing.
Yes.
Me myself have also followed that SD sheet and it helped me a lot. And solving lead code daily challenge helps in maintaining consistency for DSA.
Yes, also.
And consistency is very important for DSA. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we start forgetting things.
And we forget
Yeah.
the basics also, and very logics and very tricks that come only with consistency and daily practices of the questions.
Yeah, right. Completely agree. So, what was the most challenging part for your preparation or this complete process?
Okay, so the most challenging part for the preparing was definitely staying consistent and coding daily, with so many things ongoing like college exams, events, and other commitments. Also, it gets tough to maintain that regularity, but consistency is the key when it comes to, like, whenever we are mastering DS and we are learning new things. As for the application process, the hardest part is actually getting the OA opportunity itself, because you keep applying off campus, submitting your resumes again and again, but in most cases you don't even hear back. And not getting that interview opportunity can be really disheartening, especially when you have skills. That's why performing well in platforms like hackathons or coding or contest becomes even more important. they give you like visibility, and also you get to know how your peers are performing. Like in college, you know only your peers who are around you. With hackathons, with online contests, you also know how other peers who are outside your college, all over India, all over the world, preparing for the same opportunity. So you know where you stand out and how you have to practice.
Yeah, like completely agree because like maintaining consistency along with college projects, exams, our self projects, self skills, self development. So maintaining consistency
Yeah.
along with all these things becomes really difficult, and whoever able to maintain the consistency will be able to crack the
Yes.
opportunities. Completely agree. And they are like getting ghosted in either applying for the opportunity or after attending the OA, and sometimes even after performing well in all the interviews round, we don't hear back from the recruiters. So
Yeah.
this is very disheartening part of the complete application process. Yeah,
Yes.
right. So could you please walk us through the stipend structure offered by ServiceNow?
Unfortunately, I can't share the exact stipend due to confidential reasons. However, I can say that the compensation offered by ServiceNow is quite competitive and is somewhat equivalent to the top tech companies like Microsoft or Google offers for their internships. In addition to the stipend, reimbursements are provided separately, making the overall structure very rewarding for the interns.
Okay, cool. Like if the stipend structure is competitive like company with companies like Microsoft and Google, then obviously it is going to be very good.
Yes.
Okay, so like if you were to start over, then is there anything you would do differently in your preparation or application process, which you think like if I have not done this thing instead of this thing, then the results might be much better. So is there anything like that?
So if I had to start over again, I think the biggest thing I did do differently, starting a little early, especially with DSA. Like in first year, most of us focus only on academics and don't realize how important problem solving is until later. And starting DSA early gives us a lot of more time to improve and take to harder challenges and pressures. Also, I did be more consistent with applying to internships, especially those diversity focused ones in second years. Like a lot of us hesitate thinking like we are not at that position, we are not ready, but honestly the earlier you start putting yourself out there, the more chances you create for yourself.
Yeah, like starting early is very important because in first year, I guess 50% of the students don't start coding in first year because obviously
Yes.
first year we are new to college, we want to explore college, we want to make new friends, we are in a completely new world in the first year. But yeah,
Yes.
starting problem solving, starting DSA in first year itself gives you a lot more edge. Okay. According to you, what are the things we should do during our interviews and what are the things we should avoid in our interviews? Any tips you would like to provide for the upcoming students?
Okay, so basically, you should start with a strong introduction, first of all, because first impression is always the last impression everywhere. And talking about your major projects, your tech stacks, and maybe any leadership roles you have taken up, it helps set the tone and shows you're confident about your journey. When given a DSA question, don't jump straight into coding. Like what generally we do is we get a question and we start writing our answers that we do in the exam. It is very important, like first we need to ask and clarify questions to understand the problem properly, and also interacting with the interviewer during our coding, during writing our code, and interacting whatever approach we are like writing or using. This shows that you are very thoughtful and you're not rushing directly to the results, which is a good impression. And as you think of the solution, like we should talk out loud, we should share it with the recruiter, because we also get feedbacks, and there are high chances that the feedbacks are very important in solving the questions, because generally what lead code questions we are solving, a little different type of approach may be possible for the recruiters they are thinking about. Then before finalizing the solution also, we should consider all the edge cases. Interviewers love if the candidates show attention to the details also. Then lastly, same thing, don't go silent. Like interviewers should know and you should interact, because even in organizations or anywhere, communication is the key. If we don't interact, so whenever the interviewer is judging, they are not just judging on our coding skills, they are also judging on our confidence, our communication skills, and overall perspective. So communication with the coding is very important.
Yeah, completely makes sense. Like, because we should not jump directly to the solution. We should discuss, because it might be the case the solution which we are thinking is wrong. And if we directly jump to the coding that solution, and by the end of the coding, if that solution is wrong, then you can't get back that time which you have
Yes.
already spent in coding that solution. And if you discuss that approach, if you discuss your approach, your solution with the interviewer, then if your approach is wrong, then interviewer will not allow you to code. Then it will help you in saving your time as well. So that's why
And
discussing
also
your approach becomes important. Yeah.
and also, like, if we are communicating with the interviewer, it gives an impression to the interviewer that the child knows, and maybe there are high chances, if it is a first interview, or even if we have given many interviews, there is a sort of like a hesitation and the child is getting nervous, so they have an impression that the person knows the answer. Because if we directly jump on coding, they like feel that the student is not interacting, so that impression matters a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, right. Interacting in the interviews matters a lot. And one more thing, like by the end of the interview, if interviewer asks that, do you have any questions for me? Then we should never say that, no, I don't have any questions.
Yeah.
We should always ask some relatable questions, either related to our role, or what are the expectations from us, or what can I go through before joining if everything goes well, or the job role related to the interviewer, or anything we can ask which will show our interest that, yeah, we are really interested
Yes.
in that role. That impression
Yes,
is also important.
we can generally ask about what, even we can know more about the interviewer. Like, I have heard many podcasts also before, and I have seen many people who have taken interviews in different companies. So there are general perspectives that students ask about the companies, their roles, and it is a plus point if you also get ask about the interviewers and also get to know at what role they are present. Even if
Right.
we don't get through a good interview callback, we can connect with those people also later on, because at the end, connections matter a lot in the corporate.
Yeah, right. Networking is very important. So this will provide you two benefits. One, that you will have a good impression on the interviewer, and the second is that you will have some more knowledge either about the company, either about the interviewer, or about
Yes.
your role. You will have some more knowledge about that. So yeah, we should follow these things in the interviews. And like, have you connected with your manager or some other guy who are already working there to know about the company culture and to know about your team, what your team do and all?
I have started having meetings where the recruiters explain the internship processes in detail. I will soon be connecting with my manager, who will walk me through the tech stack and my specific role in the team. From what I have learned so far, the culture at ServiceNow is very supportive and collaborative, and the team seems really welcoming. I'm genuinely looking forward to working with them and create a good connections even for later.
Okay, great. Because good teams or good company culture matters a lot for our well-being. If company culture is not good, then it becomes very difficult to survive in that company and team.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we have covered everything. So yeah, thank you so much, Harshita, for your time. It was an amazing discussion with you. And I'm very happy that you came on my channel for such an informative podcast for the students. This means a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so
It
much.
was a good opportunity for me also. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much once again and have a good rest of the day. Bye, Harshita.
Bye.
I hope this video helped you if you are preparing for your interviews and must have got some good insights on the tips and tricks for the interviews, resources you should follow for the preparation, etc. So don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel So yeah, thank you once again for watching this video. Bye everyone. See you in the next video. Till then, keep learning and stay curious.